Well friends, in the last lecture, we have compared the different methods of the design. That is working stress method, limit state method and ultimate goal method. So we have compared these three methods, and after the discussion, we have come to the conclusion that the limit state method will be the most useful method for the design of the structure, because it applies the safety factor on both the sides. At the same time, it gives the more accurate safety margin in the structure as compared to other methods. Now, in today's chapter or today's lecture, we will see the principles of limit state method, what are the different limit state, characteristic load, partial safety factor involved in this method. Now, so first of all, we see what is the aim of this method. So limit state method, what will be the aim of this method? Now, aim of this method is to see the structure is fit or safe, we can say, and serve the purpose for which it is made. Means the aim of this design method is to see the structure remains fit throughout its life and it will serve the purpose for which it is made. Now, when the structure will be fit, or when you can say that this structure is fit, see, there are two criteria. Now, for the structure to be considered as safe or fit, there are two criteria. Number one is the collapse, and number second, when it violates the serviceability requirement. So, such structures you can consider as an unfit structure. Such structure can be considered as an unfit structure. Now, when the structure becomes unfit, now when it collapses, when any structure gets collapsed due to loss of equilibrium, loss of stability, loss of or excessive deformation, we can say, then you can say the structure becomes unfit as it is collapsed. Now, second option for structure become unfit is the serviceability requirement. You can say when any structure violates the serviceability requirement. Serviceability requirement, when it stops functioning, when it stops serving the purpose for which it is made. Means, what are the examples of the serviceability requirement? Is a deflection, vibration, corrosion, creep, you can see. Now see, if you consider any classroom, and in the classroom, at the middle of the classroom, there is huge deflection for the slab. There is huge deflection for the slab, and this deflection can be seen by the naked eye. Now, such deflection will affect the appearance of the classroom. At the same time, it will develop a fear of failure among the student. Now, the classroom will not serve the purpose for which it is constructed. So, this is called as serviceability requirement. So, student will not go to the class, student will not sit in the class without any fear. So, this is why you can say there are two requirements, there are two criteria for structure become unfit. One is collapse and second is when structure violates the serviceability requirement. Now, in this method, various limiting conditions are set up. Various limiting conditions or various limiting states are developed to define the fit structure. Or safe structure. In this method, some limiting conditions are fixed to consider the structure as a fit. So, to define the structure as a fit, there are some limiting conditions, there are some limit state, and you have to define your structure along with this limit state. Now, what are these different limit states? So, you can see here. So, before going to the deep about the limit state, first you can see the design requirement. Design requirement I have mentioned here in only one single sentence, that is, the structure should satisfy the requirements regarding stability, strength, serviceability, vibration, durability, fatigue, fire, corrosion, etc. It should satisfy all these requirements. The structure should satisfy the stability requirements regarding the stability, strength, serviceability, vibration, durability, fatigue, fire, corrosion. So these requirements has to be satisfied by the any structure when you are going to design it by the limit state method. So this is the primary requirement of the design. Now we will see the what are the different limit states. What are the different limit states here? Now see, there are two types of limit states. Now when we will design along with this limit state. Along with this limit state. Now this limit state I have explained earlier. This limit state will define, and these limit states are set up to consider the structure as a fit. Now first, the limit state of collapse or strength. First limit state is the limit state of collapse or strength. Now see, what are the limit state of collapse? First, the loss of equilibrium as a whole or part of the structure. The loss of equilibrium as a whole or part of the structure. Now when we design, we have to consider the equilibrium of the structure as a whole, at the same time equilibrium of the structure as a part. Means every part of the structure has to be in equilibrium. When the loss of equilibrium occurs as a whole or as a part of the structure, so that will be the limit state of collapse. So this boundary is considered as the limit state of collapse. This is one boundary or one limiting condition. Now what will be the second? Loss of stability of structure as a whole or as any part of the structure. Loss of the stability of any part of the structure or loss of the stability of the structure as a whole. So this will be the second. Then third, failure due to excessive deformation. Failure due to excessive deformation. If any material, any structure gets failed due to the excessive deformation, its deflection, if it is large and it gets failed, so that will be again considered into this limiting state of collapse or limit state of collapse. This is third limit. Then fourth one is the brittle fracture. If you know that the concrete is brittle and if the section is over-enforced, now in the limit state design method, the over-enforced section is avoided because of this fourth limiting condition. Now in the over-enforced section, you know that amount of quantity of steel is more and concrete is, means you can say in the over-enforced section, the first material which is failed is concrete. It will not be steel. Now when the concrete is going to be failed, as the concrete is brittle material, so failure will be the brittle failure. Now the brittle failure results into the severe damage because brittle failure doesn't give any warning and it is sudden failure. So we do not get any warning and it will lead to the severe damage. So the brittle fracture or brittle failure is avoided in the limit state method. So that's why this is the fourth limiting condition, that is brittle fracture. Okay? Brittle fracture. Now, second category of the limit state is the serviceability requirement. I have said earlier, see, when the structure is going to become unfit, when it collapses, and second is when it violates the serviceability requirement. So now first category represents the conditions for the collapse and second represents conditions for the limiting state for the serviceability. So now by checking for the serviceability requirement, we have to check these parameters. Serviceability requirement, deflection. The way we are going to check for the serviceability, we have to check for the deflection, check for the cracking, check for the vibration, check for the creep, corrosion and fire. So these are the serviceability requirements. Now in working stress method, we are only focusing on the collapse condition. We are not focusing on the serviceability requirement. So this disadvantage of the working stress method is removed in this limit state method. Now we are focusing on both sides. One is on limit state, one is on material strength. Now, how to take the load into the calculation while designing by the limit state method, and how to consider the material strength into the design calculation in LSM, limit state method. Now, first we will see the design load. Now, so you can see here the design load in LSM is given as design load equal to gamma L multiplied by QCK. So these two unknown factors here, gamma L and QCK. Now first we will see what is meant by QCK. QCK is the characteristic load. Now what is meant by characteristic load? Characteristic load is nothing but the load or working load which has 95% probability of not being exceeded. The characteristic load is the working load which has 95% probability of not being exceeded. So this is what the characteristic load. Then second is gamma L. What is gamma L? Gamma L is the partial safety factor for load. It's a partial safety factor for load. Now I have said in the last lecture while comparing the three methods that in the limit state method we apply the safety factor on both sides, one on material and one on load side. So this gamma L is on material side. Here we have multiplied the working load by the safety factor. Now this gamma L is generally taken as 1.5, but the detailed combination of you see the accurate value of gamma L depends upon the loading combination. And the entire details will be given in table number 4 in IS 875 part 3, where you will get the value of gamma L for each loading combination. Generally it is taken as 1.5. Now here, so this is what about the load. Now how to calculate how to consider the load. Now second is the material. Now see here in the same manner, design strength is taken as the ultimate strength of the material or ultimate strength of the steel, because we are going to design the steel structure, so ultimate strength of the steel divided by gamma M. So what is M? Gamma M. Gamma M is the partial safety factor for the material. Now this value of gamma M is taken as 1.25 for the ultimate stress. When you are going to apply the partial safety factor for the ultimate strength, so gamma M will be equal to 1.25. When we are applying the partial safety factor for yield stress, so gamma M will be equal to 1.1. So this is what about the partial safety factor for steel. Now here the ultimate strength and yield stress will be provided to you depending upon the grade of steel. So this is all about the partial safety factors and how to consider the design strength and how to consider the design load into the calculation. So thank you. In the next lecture we will start with the design of connections. Thank you.